Boom to the hay, all you sports fans out there in the two-ball sphere. To you, the individuals, part of the collective. Welcome to Fast Track Sports Track Highlights here on Talk Radio version of the OMSR. I'm your brief but very concise host, Will, the alternative ESPN Sports Thrill. We'll talk briefly and concisely about last collegiate event of the year, other than the CWS, the Outdoor Track and Field Championships. Much like last year, good stuff going on. Cookie Sport Run is going to be about. While there weren't quite the storylines, epic sports proportions going on like last year, there were some way more and some great photo finishes and some upsets this year. And then why does the OMSR have to split these up into so many damn parts in the first place? Believe me, it's not my first choice. In the meantime,
more field event coverage as Larry Rawson has an update on the triple jump after we take a look at our Olympians. And I have been asked this question so many times by friends of mine watching, Larry. Are there people that are in the Olympics in college track and field? And this is the breeding ground for college track and field athletes to make Olympic teams, right?
Increasingly so. Countries often have their athletes come. 20 different countries were represented in London from colleges in the United States where they came and matriculated, improved so much that their home countries asked them to compete or they qualified, either way.
Several Olympians here this weekend competing, and now Larry, give us that triple jump update.
Well, Sam, it's 60 feet 2 inches to home plate in a Major League Baseball game, and many of these guys you're looking at right now can cover that almost 90% of that distance in 3 steps. The triple jump, the first 2 flights have been held. We're only halfway through, and here's the standings so far. Stephen Waite, you just looked at him from Penn State, 52 feet 11 and a half inches. Sitting right now in second place for Darrell Golden, a senior from Middle Tennessee State. On his third attempt, he went out 53, 6 and a half. And Marquise Dendy, the junior from Florida, who won the long jump competition, on his first attempt, he did this. And the crowd roared. With a strong tailwind, 55 feet, 11¼ inches, best by far in college.
Oregon is starting to run away with this. 63 points to Florida's 38, but Florida can make up some distance here in this men's 200 as we have got a battle. 3 of the top 6 in the world, Larry.
He is still the #1 200-meter runner in the world this year. What a hats off and a tribute to what he's done earlier this season.
DEDRIC Dukes from the University of Florida. He'll be going up against Aaron Brown of USC.
He's got his hands full with this young man from Canada. Aaron Brown has had an outstanding season. He was the top qualifier in the semis. He finished 3rd in the 100 in 10.07 seconds.
How about Aaron Ernest?
Ernest he's in the best shape he's been in all year, injury-free, everything's going well. His coach Dennis Saver says the guy's in top form, and he's got an outstanding time that he's achieved this year that is the 4th fastest in the world, 20.14 seconds for Ernest.
Dukes in lane 5, Brown in lane 4, Ernest in lane 3.
Very important points for Florida to stay in the hunt for the team title here on the men's side.
Three of the top 6 in the world in this race here in Eugene, Oregon, as they make the turn and come down the home stretch. It is very close. The battle going on in the middle of the track between Brown and Dukes, and it is going to be Dukes who outduels Brown to take the race.
Wow, the question is it a legal win? It's going to be close, I think. 19.91 seconds, just over the allowable limit. 2.1 meters per second. 2 meters per second is the maximum you can have. That's almost exactly 4.5 miles per hour at your back. Nonetheless, a tremendous time. 1991. No one in the world has run that fast. Take a look at him. Aaron Brown on the inside could monitor and drew on him on the turn. Dukes feeling him coming off that turn right beside him. Had something left in the performance by both. Look at them come around. They're not in the lead right now. Other guys ran on the outside a little harder. They saved something for the home stretch, and watch the two of them not going as hard as some of the others pull away in the last 70 meters of the race. Outstanding stuff.
So DEDRIC Dukes wins the men's 200, getting just past Aaron Brown. Good race by Justin Walker of Northwestern State, and Aaron Ernest finishes fourth.
All right. Some good stuff going on there. You know where you are based on the title. I wholeheartedly recommend to go back and see part 1 so that the context and the backdrop, the background as to why this event's always held there. Other than the beautiful weather in that stretch of Oregon. When I was married, I honeymooned up the coast. Perfect temperature and lower humidity, even with a higher humidity. Great location to be. Get your body temperature all worked up. So, yeah, plenty of other, depending on, trying to figure this out here, how to say this. Depending on which one you've seen, I contrasted the men to the women's, mostly on the track, because that's what they were focused on, frankly, and not so much the field. So, quickie sport rant. Why does the OMSR have to break this up into so many little itty-bitty parts? Well, like with last year, I did a show in a different style, and I will be the first to say I was a little too hopped up that day. And, yeah, it's a little too in your face, too silly. It was too long in the beginning. I've been doing talk radio version now for a while to cover and/or mass produce a lot of different sporting events. Only if it's a big deal do I do a show live from the set, which has been only 3 so far this year. But now there's only 2 on the channel because the Florida State fourth quarter, somebody came along and flagged it, trying to piggyback on some bogus third-party content ID claim. And therein lies the heart of the matter. You try to borrow from other sources. The OMSR is always stuck to the tenets of the OMSR sponsor being the DMCA. However, these can still get flagged. There's a mathematical formula to it, and I'm not at liberty to really get into that, lest I reveal any trade secrets, but that's the reason why there's more. These are split up into more, as opposed to trying, like I did last year, trying to combine the men and women's events into one show based on the particular distance being run. This year, they're all separated. But at least you'll know, since this is the baseline show, the intro will be the same. The intro here will be the same. You'll know when to fast forward and stop to. I don't expect you to stick around and necessarily listen to it. What I'm saying, I'm kind of assuming at this point, because of upcoming Gen 5.0, I've decided to take like the longer parts of the sports talk radio, what we're doing right now, and put it at the end. So the intros are always only 1 minute now. And like for baseball, won't be any in the beginning. I'll put it all to the end. But it indemnifies the OMSR position by me doing this, because it increases the original content, and you might learn something a little bit about YouTube and fair use standard of the DMCA. And when I'm not going on and on and on about this because I'm worried about T3 Media coming in, the NCAA's media arm, and flagging all of these, get a quickie sport rant that's relevant to the sporting events being covered. And I sort of already did that by saying there were a lot more thrilling finishes this year, even though the storylines didn't quite match up to last year. All the video highlights courtesy to ESPN and the NCAA. Everything else to the OMSR. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Those silly DYs while you're out there. Celebrate what's left in the finals. We are later out here.